I'm getting ready to go in and do a meeting for my sales team. They're on the phone every day. They think I'm going in there to talk about sales. I'm going in there to talk about money, because if you don't have your money right, if you're not thinking about money correctly, guess what? You're never going to make a sale. You're never going to push through the objections and the barriers and the hang-ups and everything that goes on in sales. It's a disappointing job. It's a tough job. It's a crazy job. It's like being an actor, okay? Why would anybody be an actor after they go on 100 auditions? Nobody ever picks them. They're like, I'm done. The only reason you want to do that is because you want to be a superstar. Okay, guys, so this is what I want to do. I want to talk to you about money today, not sales.
All right.
If you don't get the money right, you're not going to make the sale, period, okay? $1 million, $1 million. Peter Thiel, $2.8 billion Peter Thiel said, the single-digit millionaire, you know what that means? Guy with $1 million, or 2, or 3, or 4, cannot even provide his family with proper defense, legal defense in America. Much less emergencies, divorces, you know, major lawsuits, business lawsuits, issues happening, 2 kids going to college. So what he's saying is this, okay? It became a very, very controversial article because he's like, rich dude scratching fingers on the chalkboard, the slides, okay, is saying, hey man, if you got $1 million, you're basically just a freaking deadbeat. And that your daddy didn't tell you that. Your daddy's like, oh man, $1 million, you and the money. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you today how to get through all this rejection and disappointment, discouragements, the hang-ups. You got to change the way you look at money. This is not money right here, okay? This is not money. This is just dumbness. This is you not making a decision. This is you being lazy, saying, man, $1 million and I'd be set. Just do the math on $1 million. I did this when I was 34 years old. $1 million. If you didn't have any more income and you were, how old are you?
27.
27 years old and you didn't have any income, $1 million. $1 million. What does that say right there? Oh, no income, 0 income. You're 27 years old. I'm going to do this at 47. I'm going to do it at 65. Okay, 27. You don't have any more income. How long would that money last? At $4,000 a month, you got 25 years. Where can you live on $4,000 a month? By the way, $4,000 a month assumes no other income, Social Security system's broken, Medicare is broken, because they are already. It's just a matter of when. Probably going to happen in most of your lifetimes. You'd have to live on $4,000 a month for 25 years. You will be 52 years old, my friend, and dead broke. Okay? $4 grand a month is what? $1,000 a week? You're spending probably $900 a month on groceries. What's your rent? $3,000. You got like 12 years left. And you're a millionaire. Everybody's like, oh my God, the iconic millionaire. You're wealthy. You're not wealthy, dude. You're worried is what you are, okay? Because you don't have new income. So watch what happens. What happens if there's an accident, a major car accident? Are you married? Okay, married kids? Okay, the 2 kids will cost $1.5 million each to get through college. So you're busted. You understand? So when you come to work in the morning, you're like, man, I need to make 80 grand this year. I need to make 8,000 or 10,000. You guys got to change your think on money. Like if you want to make real money, if you're 47 years old, you have until 62 to live. If you're 65 years old, by the way, and anything bad happens, like anything, you lose your job, you lose your income, if there's any inflation, this equation right here doesn't assume any inflation. It assumes everything stays the same and his rent never goes up, his car payments don't go up, nothing goes up. It's impossible. It's an impossible cycle. The problem is nobody talks about this because nobody wants to go on TV and say, hey, millionaires are basically middle-class people that are worried about money. So when I did the math at 33 years old, I'm like, dude, I need a lot of money. This is where the whole 10X concept comes up from, all right? Hey man, what if it took 10 million? By the way, I think that's the number. CNBC says it's 5 million. I think the number's really 10 million, okay? 10 million with no new income, you could probably live the life you wanted to. So how would you get that if that's the number? Because this is clearly not the number. Everybody agree with that? Yes. By the way, if you make 40 grand a year for the next 25 years, you're going to make $1 million anyway. You're going to make the money. If you make $80,000 a year, every time you double this, you cut the years. It takes 12 and a half years. If you make $160,000 a year, it takes you 6 years, right? Or you could just go make $1 million in a year. So you got to do the math. If you hadn't done the math, if you're going for the wrong target, I'm always talking about targets in here. You and the husband, you and the wife need to get the target right. Quit talking about, oh man, I love this new car. I'm going to go buy a new car, like Sislo. I'm gonna get a new car. Dude, your attention needs to be on this. This is the target. It's not the watch, it's not the car, and it's not the vacation. It's freedom. 67% of wealthy people surveyed said they weren't going for wealth for cars and boats and trips. They were going for the freedom of worry, to not be concerned about money every day. I want to be concerned about my kids. I want to be concerned about, you know, what we do when we have time together. I want to be concerned about how happy I am in my marriage. I don't want to be worried about pieces of paper that I don't have enough of, or where it's going, or what things cost. That's why you're making these phone calls, okay? So now what's the target? Because if you're just in here making phone calls saying, hey, I'm gonna make a call, I'm gonna make a close, all you're gonna do is get me rich. I'm already rich, okay? And I started with zero, just so you guys know. I didn't have anything. So when you're sitting there on the phone thinking, how am I going to get to there? You can, but you need to stay focused, okay? So number one thing you got to do is this. You got to change the target, and you need to look at the target daily. The target, you have the wrong target right now. If you're struggling, you have the wrong target. When you change the target, everything changes, right? So that when I'm talking to a guy, dude, you're contributing to my 10 million. Every person I've ever sold, I treated like an investor. This guy is going to invest in my future. He's going to pay for my college. He's going to buy my shoes. Every time I'm on the phone, somebody's paying for my shit. Right? So if I want to go on a trip, I want to go on a trip and I want to stay in a house that costs 25 grand a night. I didn't pay for that, man.
Hey, what's up, Tony?
Other people paid for that. That's other people's money. So you don't need to wait to be a bank to get other people's money, right? The money that I put in real estate, that is other people's money I'm putting in real estate. People, I had a guy yesterday say, man, how can you put 60 million in a deal? Dude, it ain't mine. It's like, what do you mean? You raising all? No, dude, I went and sold stuff. People gave me money and I put it in the real estate, which is part of this equation. Number one, the target. Number two, you need to get your income to a place. This is a fascinating concept right here. Okay, if you can do this, I guarantee you'll be rich. You need to get your income not to what pays your bills, but to where you can save 40% of your gross income is saved. Okay, now you want to talk about something difficult? This is way more difficult than that. If you can do this, you will get that. All right, so when you sit down and do the math, what would it take for you to save 40% of your income? So watch what happens. If you make $10,000 a month and you want to save $40,000 of it, you would pay yourself first. The government doesn't let you do that. They don't trust you. They're like, no, get that money from him first before he blows it. We know he's going to blow it. Okay? We know the IRS is going to take, they're going to withhold probably
40%.
4,000 of it. So look, if you'll pay the freaking IRS $4,000 of 10, you need to figure out how to pay yourself $4,000. What's the problem here? You got to live on 2. Yeah. So just keep doing the math out. This is the math you need to do with your spouse. You need to keep working it out until you're like, he's like, let's go buy a new car. Yeah, we ain't got any money for a new car. That's why when I was 35 years old, no one knew that I was a millionaire. Nothing had changed. I was still running with shit shoes, you know, buying $40 shoes and working a shirt out as long as I could, and like nobody saw. I didn't have fancy cars. I'm driving a Camry with $1 million in the bank because I was using this. Okay, I pay the IRS. I've always paid those bastards. All right. And then what I did was, I'm like, I'm a bank $4,000, and then I realized, dude, I can't live on 2. It's making my life hard to do this. This money, by the way, a better word for saving is storage. I was storing money, not saving money. I'm storing it. I'm stockpiling, if you like that word better. You don't want to save money. It's worthless. It's like saving a legal pad. A legal pad is only good if you use it. Money is only good if you use it. How many heard this term? Cash is?
King.
It's worthless. Cash is worthless. It's not a king. It's no king, dude. Like cash is not king. Cash is shit. It just sits there and dies. Or you lose it. If you leave money in this storage account too long, guarantee you it will disappear. It always has in your life. If you look back over your life, the longer this money sits in storage, Pablo Escobar, was he the drug king? Yeah. That was his biggest problem. Mold, bugs, somebody steal it, rats. You don't want to leave it in storage too long because it's going to zero. All cash goes to zero. All right, so now when you do this math, you're like, dude, how much money do I actually need? Let's kick this up to 20 grand. At 20 grand, what happens? You're saving 8. Storage. You're paying 8. And now you can live on 4. See, now this is the right way to do a budget. You make 30,000. 12's going to storage. 12's going to the IR and the S. And that leaves you with 6. So now you can start seeing, dude, you got to be somewhere north of 300 grand a year. This is what they don't teach you at Harvard. You got to be somewhere north of 360 a year before you even have money to live on. Unless you're just, you're a dreck. You're just an irresponsible human being that's, not storing money away for the future. Okay? Now you're saving 12 grand a month. That's $144,000 in 1 year. In 10 years, that's $1.4 million. In 10 years, you're a millionaire stored. Okay? So second thing to do, you gotta keep playing this 40% game. Todd, you need to work with your guys on, dude, where's your money at? Not on what the call is, not on what the script is, not on what how to handle the objection. You need all that, but dude, you need the driver here. You guys need to be heavily money motivated from a survival standpoint. Okay, number 3 thing you're gonna do. You're gonna go broke right here and invest the storage. Storage has to get invested. The golden goose is only good if she lays eggs. Otherwise, you can kill her. Eat her for a chicken. Need eggs. Money needs to make babies, right? So your goal right here is to invest the storage money and continue to do that until this money over here, the passive money, is equal to your income. Tough game, man. Right? So what would I do? I'd go out, I'm gonna make 30 grand, I'm gonna store 12, I'm gonna pay the IRS, I'm gonna live on 6. In Miami, you're like, there's no money left over. But there's 6 grand in storage right now. 6 grand, 6 grand, keep pumping the 6, keep pumping it until you find a place where you're like, I'm gonna invest this money now. When you make this move right here, do not invest in anything that is a maybe. Okay? You don't want to put your money in anything that's...
Bitcoin.
Dude, you can't risk this money. Warren Buffett says, don't lose money, number 1. Number 2, don't lose money. I would tell you, number 3, don't lose money. So what can you invest in? You can't leave it in the bank, because that's losing money. They don't pay you anything. It takes you 833 years to double your money at the bank today. 833 years. To double your money at today's bank rates. So if you guys don't know this, you need to start looking at this saying, hey, at night, man, what am I doing with my money, man? Confront the beast. Right? So right here, the passive income, your target right here should be my passive income now exceeds my monthly income. You just need to do the math on it. How much money would I need invested? Right? So that this $12,000 I've been throwing in storage over time, Jared, where are you at? Don't you exceed your income right now?
Passive income is about 11 grand a month.
So his monthly income exceeds his salary. That's what you're looking for right there. Not his whole bonus and everything at the end of the year, but his monthly income from the investments now exceeds his income. Has that made you more or less motivated?
Extremely motivated.
So it used to be like, oh, debt, man. If you got enough debt, then you'll be motivated. No, no, you're not. You're going to be motivated for a little while to pay your car, and then you're going to be like, shit, this game's no fun, dude. This is a terrible game. All right? Okay, so look, it's simple. Target, what's your new target?
Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. But let's put a number on it. So your first target should be $10 million and nothing short of that. And everybody in the room can do it. Okay, I can show everybody in the room somebody on this planet that came from your situation that's banked $10 million.
Probably worse.
You don't need a degree. Oh yeah, I can show you for every case bad problem you got. I can show you somebody you'd trade problems. You'd be like, no, I'll keep mine. You keep yours. Second thing, you got to get your income to 40%. You got to get your income to where you can bank 40% of your income. This is the most difficult part of this in the beginning, because you're starving here until you confront the real problem. The real problem is income. Third thing is, this money, you need to stay broke with this money. You need to get this money in a sacred account somewhere where no one is going to jack with this money. I remember my mom called me once and she's like, I got this thing going on. I'm like, I can't help you. I had a bunch of money sitting aside. It's just like, it's just piling up. Can't help you. I'd violate my policy here. Okay? Let me go sell something, see if I can get you some money. No, anybody came to me for help, it was like, I'm not your guy. I'm not the bank. Can't help you, dude. I got my own shit going on here. I'm busted all the time. I'm broke all the time. This is what I got on me today. Okay? Like, I'm piling up everything right now to make another deal. Right? So that's what it means by being broke. It doesn't mean get money, blow it. It means get money, store it. Okay, find a place that's going to go where you don't lose the money. Number 3, don't lose money. Cars, don't buy them, lease them. Okay, where you live, don't own it, rent it. Don't own anything, dude. Just stack cash and wait till you can put it in something where it won't be lost. It just goes away for a while. And inflation, over time, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, one day you look up and like, okay, I didn't lose my golden egg. That thing is protected. I got a little drip every month from it. And you keep adding to that so the drip gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you can come to work on Monday and say, dude, I got money coming in here. I got money coming in here. But I'm broke all the time, so I got to keep replacing the game. You know, when do you get off the treadmill? Whenever you want to. Once you get to there. Okay, questions?
When you talk about storing, is there a certain amount of storage that you should have before you move it?
I mean, I didn't have anybody that was saying, hey, come, you can jump on my vehicle. So I was trying to store enough you know, if you know the story about the real estate deal, the first real estate deal I did was $78,000. It's because I had $5,000. My next deal would be 3 years later, and it was $350,000 purchase. So I was storing money the whole time until I found the right deal. In between, I was just shopping. Now, if I'd have had somebody that said, dude, just lay on my deal, I would have been pushing money there the whole time. I didn't need to own the whole first deal. I just needed to be in the right vehicle. Steve Ballmer, he was a partner with Bill Gates and Microsoft. Dude, the guy's one of the richest guys in the world. He didn't own the company. He was a partner in the company. So you need a vehicle. You need 2 vehicles. You need one that produces income so you can pay the bills over here and pay the IRS and eat. That's the one. You're just serving the basic needs from your job. The second one is the play. The second one is how you get the financial freedom. So what you're looking for while you're here is any little streams and rivers and canals that get bigger. Right? I'm looking for, like if you look at where villages are on this planet, they're all where there's transportation routes. The bigger the transportation route, the bigger the stuff moving up and down the Nile. Oh, let's put a village here because there's food stopping here, gas stopping here, right? These are the valuable ports. Why? Because all the waterways meet there. So at this company, I could be on the call forever, making one call. It's one line, right? It's one little fiber optic line. Or you could start looking around and saying, dude, where's all the other flows here? Right? So you go tinker in this little stream, tinker in this little stream, tinker in this one, and you take on more responsibility and you're like, hey, I want a bigger vein here. where all the flows come together. But you're not going to do any of that until you get great at what you do. You got to get great at this first thing. Keep the target in mind. Okay? See if you can keep it. Maybe you can't. Maybe you just lose the motivation. You're like, I can't do this. And then you just get recycled into the universe of people that are worried every day. And that's the reality of the situation. That's what Peter Thiel was saying. A single-digit millionaire cannot even provide themselves with their own personal defense in America. Okay? Hulk Hogan, all that money Hulk Hogan made, he blew it all. He blew it all, probably buying hair pieces. Okay? He blew it all. He blew it all. Ended up with a little money, thought he was the shit. Oh man, I got a little money, until he had that freaking lawsuit, and then he can't even defend himself. Peter Thiel funded that lawsuit for him. Right? So I had a lawsuit back in 2009. It cost me $200,000 a month to defend myself against a criminal lawsuit. A guy that sued me trying to get money from me, holding me hostage. That's the game in the legal thing. It wasn't a car accident. It wasn't cancer. It wasn't my mom getting sick. It wasn't kids. I didn't have kids yet. You know? So all those things can happen too. They're probably going to happen to you.
Grant, I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you balance the paying the debt, whether it be school loans, credit cards, everything else, along with the 40%?
I'd negotiate them all. That's the last thing I would chase. I would not chase the pass. So if I made a bad deal, I'm not going to go chase that deal today. I'd call them up and say, put me on hold, dog. Okay, I would pay it if you want to cut it back to like 80%. Or we got to put it off. And I wouldn't mind if my debt was bad, my credit was bad. Wouldn't matter to me if it lowered my credit score. I ain't buying anything anyway. I don't need credit, dude. I ain't buying anything. I'm storing dough. Right? So I wouldn't worry about that.
When you're talking about making so much money per month and saving storing the 40%,
yeah.
Should I lower the way I'm living right now until I can do that?
Well, notice how
I know I'm supposed to focus on the income.
First thing I paid was who?
Me.
I paid me first. I paid the IRS second, just because I have to. And then I got leftovers. So Todd's gonna either live on the 6 or decide, fuck man, I gotta make more money, man. I can't treat the people I love like this. So what happens is Jared just gets more productive. Remember, Jared came here, he was making $2,500 a month. That was his draw for 3 months. Or did you have a draw back then?
It was $2,500.
Yeah. Okay. So like he's not making $2,500 now. Now he's making $11,000 a month off the income. That's been in 5 years because he had a plan.
What do you suggest for the guys that are in their 40s?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm up against a time. I'm making the most amount of money I've ever made working with you.
I wish I was 40.
And like I feel like that number to store right now is too low for me. I feel like I'm running out of time.
Make more money. I mean, that's
You are. You just need to do the math on you. You need to do the math on you, get busy, and talk to more people. Everybody you're talking to has money.
great. You also talked about having different
Remember,
sacred
all this target is going to be met by people you don't know. These people are going to fund your target. You're not funding your target. This is not your job to fund your target. Your job is to talk to people that will fund your target and to get your spouse to fund the target. I got Elaine on a phone call yesterday during the show, the G&E show, and I'm like, hey, here's a list of people. She didn't know she was going to have to do this. Start calling them. Shit, my sales team's called them. Natalie's called them. I've called them. You call them now. God damn, man. How about throwing in a little bit? Okay? She made 4 phone calls. 3 of them didn't answer. 1 of them did. She got $5,000. So you get your mom involved, get your dad involved, get your family members to buy Cardone University. Dude, they're contributing to your target, not mine. I got mine. I hit mine already. I've exceeded mine. This whole thing now is for you guys. You guys want to do something with it or not?
Yeah. All right, from perspective number 3, as far as investments, what do you feel is your top 3 safest investments?
Real estate, and real estate.
Got it.
Love it.
Okay, you know why? Because when I buy a building with an address, if it's in the right location, it will be here 20 years from now. So I had a guy call me about car dealerships the other day. I said, dude, I don't want to buy car dealerships. I don't even know if they're going to be here. So I'm not buying Bitcoin. I don't know anything about Bitcoin, man. You want to give me some Bitcoin? I'll take it. But I'm not buying Bitcoin because I'm not buying Twitter stock. I don't know anything about Twitter. Is Twitter going to be here in the future? I don't know. I only invest in things that I know will be there in the future. excluding my condo. I'm not going to buy that. I don't need that. I want to buy things that people pay for. So this investment right here needs to produce what? One of the criteria, can't lose money. Number 2, it has to give me a drip. If it don't have a baby, I ain't buying it. See, why? Because I'm trying to get out of this. My goal is to what? I want money, passive money from this equal to this. So I'm not going to go buy Google stock. You know why? Because they don't pay a dividend every month. I need a drip. I'm not going to buy AT&T stock. AT&T pays a dividend every quarter. When do they collect their payments?
Every month.
Every month, man. Can you imagine calling AT&T and say, dude, we want to pay you every quarter like you pay your dividends? That's how important monthly cash flow is. Do you understand that? Yeah. They pay their dividends to investors every quarter. They collect checks every month. The difference between those 89 days makes them hundreds of millions of dollars. The Bank of America, Northern Trust right here, will lend me money to buy an apartment deal, but they won't lend me money to buy their own stock. Think about that. A bank will lend me money to buy a piece of property, but they will not lend me money to buy Bitcoin. They won't even lend me money to buy a Bank of America stock. So what do they believe in?
Cash flow.
Cash flow, man. They believe in cash flow. Cash flow, that any asset that generates cash flow into the future is going to be worth more money. So what do I invest in? Y'all see where I'm putting all my money. That's all I talk about all the time. Because I know it's going to be there.
Hey Grant, so I'm saving 40% each and every single month.
You're doing that now?
Yeah, and
Okay.
so like I've heard you say when you're at 100,000, that's when you should be like investing in like
If you're
passive
looking
income.
at your own deals, that's
Right.
when you should be doing the deal.
Right,
If
but-
you're buying your own deals, okay?
Right.
The problem with that in Miami, for you, because I'm making a statement to a lot of people when I say that, the problem in Miami is 100 grand is going to buy you a $300,000 deal, which is maybe a duplex. Okay. Then that hits that other rule. I'm like, never buy 2 doors. You need 32 doors. If you're going to go do these on your own, you need 32 doors. And in Miami, that's going to cost you more like $6 million. And $1.2 million down.
Secondary on top of that, when do you make the decision to put like that investment in personal development, like training,
You should keep doing it until
lectures?
this number gets where.
Till- okay.
You guys should keep. If this number's at 10, it should all be going into personal development. All of it, okay? Like all your leftovers. You should be worried about personal development more than food. You eat a piece of chicken at Publix and then listen. You guys don't need any personal development. You just need to listen to me every day. Just tap into the freaking audio programs. You got millions of dollars worth of training around you every day, just in the car, when you're working out. Just like stay with the same message over and over until it grooves in. Until you're like, you feel like me a little bit. And then what'll happen is it'll come back. Have you ever just been around somebody maybe when you were younger and you're around this person, all of a sudden you're like, I felt like I sounded like you, right? You need to sound like me until the other you comes back on top of it. And then you understand, there's no effort in how you're thinking or the decisions you're making. This is boring right here, guys. This is boring. But I guarantee you it'll work. Okay? So 33 years old to 45 years old. There was no vacations. I didn't go to Hawaii. I went on one fishing trip. Okay? It was work, man. It was like, that's my vacation. When I get that, then I'm gonna do what I gotta do. If I was on a vacation, it was because I was going there to see a client. Jared seen me on the road. John Hamlin gives me his plane one day. We went to 5 cities in one day. John Hamlin was on the plane. He's like, I can't do it anymore.
He
I wore
didn't go to
John
work for 2 days after that.
Huh?
He said he was so tired he didn't go to work for 2 days after that.
You know, because I'm chasing this. Or maybe it's 50, or maybe it's 100, or maybe it's $1 billion. So you got to decide what game you're going to play here. Because right now you guys are you're being manipulated by the world. So I write my goals. It takes me about 25 seconds to write my goals, and then I'm bouncing. I'm on the phone, man, calling somebody to say, hey, move me to 100, then move me to 200, then move me. See what I'm saying? I'm spending all my time in doing. So if you're spending more than 25 or 30 seconds writing your goals down, you're playing. You're hiding. All right? You don't need to figure all this out right now. You just need to figure out the 40% thing. Just work on this. Can you get this? Because I guarantee you guys aren't close to this number right now. If you're doing this, good for you. It's awesome. Unbelievable. This is really hard to do. Okay?
Yeah.
That's who you're calling today. Okay? And by the way, we give them a great product, we give them great service, we support people, and we help them do exactly what I'm saying here. Right? So, because right now these people are being told they're doing good. You got guys you're talking to out there making $300,000 and $400,000 a year. Okay, I know 4 guys that are about to lose their job, and they've been making $800,000 a year. They're going to lose their job. They're going to be told this month, you're done. Okay, a guy called me recently. He's like, I'm done with these guys. They're making 800. They're sitting on the 800. They're happy with the 800. I'm done. He's like, if I got to come to work here every day, and they don't want to push, I'm getting rid of them and find somebody else. 4 guys are going to go from $800,000 a year to 0. Next 30 days, they're going to be looking for work. So it happens to a lot of people. How many of you know a family member that lost their job? Okay. How many of you have a family member where the kid got a drug addiction and he had to go to rehab for 30 days and it cost $40,000? Dude, bad shit happens. How many of you know somebody got cancer? Okay. How many know somebody in a car accident cost $300,000 or $400,000? Shit happens. Okay, the problem is not that shit happens and people aren't ready for it. Oh God, I can't believe this happened to me. Oh shit, really? God damn, you've been around long enough. Right? How many of you can't swim? You live on a planet with water. I'm just saying you might want to get a swimming lesson. It's a wet planet.